In this video, we're going to show you how the top producers mix their beats. So in this video, I'm going to go through pretty much how I mix every single beat. If you listen to any of the songs that I've produced in the past,
shut up at 6, I got the way, bars in my mind like bang, hey.
Then these are the methods I use to pretty much produce them all. If you follow these methods, there's no doubt you will be platinum selling producer. And yeah, hopefully these methods help you. If you're new here, follow me on Instagram, subscribe if you're new, trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. We're almost there, so please help me. And yeah, let's get into it. Right, so now we are in Logic. So I like to start beats using a template. I use this in every single beat. If you're not using this, you are missing out. So what I start with is this one here. And yeah, if you just want everything sort of done for you, then this is pretty much a cheat code, like one of them San Andreas cheat codes. So when I go to making a new beat, it opens up this. Wow. But what this does is pretty much everything is in there that I want. So the drums are already like mixed, the melodies are already in place and everything like that, which, let's be honest, in like 99% of beats, people use the same sounds more so than not. So all I would do if I was making a new beat would be delete this melody, and then I'd drag in like a completely different guitar loop, so whatever, like this one, adjust the BPM, and then all I need to do is change the 808 pattern. So for example, this is in F major. All I need to do is go to this transposer F major, and literally this beat should be pretty much done already. I can just pull that across. Need to sort that out. So this is pretty much what a finished beat will look like. So we have 16 tracks in this beat, and that is pretty much a lot more than you even need. I've made beats with like 2 tracks before. So I'm gonna go through each of these tracks and show you what I've done on each of them. So from the melody to the drums, and yeah, I'm gonna show you how you can get your beats hitting. So we're gonna start with the melody. So the melody is arguably the most important bit, as it's what people hear first, I guess. So for this, we're using a sample of Splice, and this is what it sounds like. I'm just gonna get my guitar and pretend that I played it, even though it's just sample. So that is what the sample sounds like. Pretty good, I like it. And this is what we have done to the sample. So before I did anything, it sounded like this. You've probably seen this on a lot of tutorials before, but what we're going to do is just pull this to say 24 like that, and around 71, and we're just going to drag off that bass. So we said goodbye to that bass, and now this leaves room for that 808. So that is literally all we did for EQing. Then from here, we've got this Ozone Imager on, which is a free plugin, by the way. Go get this and just copy these settings down and never think about it again, because this is like the perfect thing. So instead of it all being here, it's now here, which is good. And then lastly, which you really don't need to do, but I've just got RC retro color on it, and this just sort of makes it a bit, I don't really know, just it sounds good. So that is pretty much all I do on every single melody. So yeah, so it's simple, you don't have to complicate it. So melody is pretty much done. Now what I try and do, especially if I'm using a sample so that I don't feel like I'm lazy and doing nothing, is I try and add something to the sample. So on this one, we've got a couple of vocal chops, which sound like this. So as you can hear, that is crazy. So without any processing, it would have sounded like this. So as you can hear, that sounds absolutely terrible. So all we added was this channel EQ, and this just makes it a bit thinner so that it doesn't take up too much room on top of the guitar. But it still sounds pretty bad. So what we've done is, I actually showed you how to do this on my last video, but I just upped the pitch. So I pulled this semitones to 12 and the mix to 12. But it still sounds like it's killing my ears. So I've got this RC retro color on again, and we're only using this for the reverb. So if you don't have this, don't worry, just use normal reverb. And we're just using the EQ here to sort of cut out the high and low end. You can still do this here. So as you can hear, that sounds pretty good. So yeah, so I did switch it up on the verse a little bit. So yeah, so that is all we've done for the melodies. So these are basically the fundamentals of what I do. I don't really do much EQing up here and doing all this stuff. When I first started producing, I was doing a lot of this, and it's just like not necessary. You don't need EQs to look like Mount Everest, and like just keep it simple. So now we have got the drums. So the drums consist of these. So I'm going to break down each of these parts from the 808 to the kick, and yeah. So the first thing we're going to start with is the hi-hats. So I pretty much use this pattern on like 99% of my beats. Sometimes I'll like move these there. I'll put these down. And literally the only thing I do is I just pan one left and one right. With a lot of these sounds, particularly the drum ones, if you're already using pretty good sounds, like the ones in my free drum kit, then you really don't need to do too much. So, and that sort of goes the same way with the snare. I've literally got nothing on there. So the hi-hat and the snare, literally nothing. So with the kick, I also have nothing on there.
I'm sorry, what?
So, like I said, if you're using good sounds, you really don't need nothing. So that's the hi-hat, snare, and the kick. I've literally got nothing. So the thing that's actually making these things punch and hit is what's on the master. As you can see here is the T-Rex clipper. Now, I've mentioned this a million times in videos, but if you don't have this, you really need it. So this is without. And this is with. So it's a huge difference. These are the settings I use, so feel free to copy them down. So now we've got the 808. So with the 808, once again, no EQ. The only thing we're actually using is this bus. So I've got the sends on minus 15.8. And this is the distortion I'm using. It just makes it sound good on actual speakers, like phone speakers, for example. And yeah, that is all I'm doing. For that, we're using Alchemy. And you just put this to legato, put this on 1 voice, and I've got the Glad on 30. Because this is quite a long 808 originally, I've just put this hold on around here. So instead of, it's more like this. It just sounds a little better to me. And the final thing to this beat is transitions. So I'm a big user of transitions. So yeah, so that is pretty much everything in the beat. Like I said, all these sounds are free in the link below, so go get that. So I'm just going to play the whole beat now, and you can hear it. So that is pretty much the end of the video. So as you can see, I literally made a whole beat in about, what, 3 seconds? So yeah, this is a complete cheat code. I pretty much always use this in every beat. So yeah, if you want this, I'm going to put this in the description. I've had a lot of people ask me for the one previously before. And yeah, that is pretty much everything.